998, 999, and 1,000. Whoa! That's a good warm-up. Oh, hi there. I did not see you there. So, you wish to learn a freestanding handstand push-up? Allow me to teach you.
Welcome to the freestanding handstand push-up tutorial. In this tutorial we'll discuss two questions. What are freestanding handstand push-ups and how do we train for freestanding handstand push-ups? But first, of course, what are freestanding handstand push-ups? When we talk about freestanding handstand push-ups, there are two variations that come to mind. There is this one, this one is often referred to as the headstand push-up. Then there is this variation. Notice the increased range of motion, which basically means notice that I go deeper. This variation is often referred to as handstand push-ups. In this tutorial we'll focus on the headstand push-ups. Alright, so let's focus on form. You don't want people to come up to you and say, "Hey, that's not a proper handstand push-up." No, you want good form. So let's discuss a few cues. The first one is full range of motion, which basically means you go all the way down, touch the ground with your nose, then you go all the way up, lock your arms, and push out your shoulders. That's one rep. The next two cues are nose in front of the hands and a straight body. A lot of people think that a handstand push-up is basically going down and up. However, if you look at me, you'll see that I go down while leaning forward, placing my nose in front of my hands. Then I go up again, returning to my original position. Hollow body and elbows tucked in. These two I will discuss in more detail. Let's first focus on hollow body. The hollow body is basically the strongest position you can be in when we talk about handstand push-ups. Two factors that contribute to a hollow body are the pelvic tilt position and the scapula position. Now some of you might think, "Yaad, what are you talking about?" Don't worry, everything will be clear in just a moment. First, let's discuss pelvic tilt position. This here is an example of anterior pelvic tilt, which can be achieved by sticking out your butt. This is an example of posterior pelvic tilt, which can be achieved by squeezing in your butt. In a hollow body, so in a freestanding handstand push-up, you don't want anterior pelvic tilt, you want posterior pelvic tilt. Alright, scapula position. I don't want to go into the mechanics of scapula positioning, so if you just follow the two cues I've given you, elbows tucked in and nose in front of the hands, you should be fine. However, I haven't really explained what I mean with elbows tucked in, so let me explain that. Here is an example of what you're not supposed to do. Here I flare out my elbows and I fail, so don't do that. Here is an example with elbows tucked in too much. It's not necessarily bad form, however it's much harder than it needs to be, so just don't do that. Here is a good example. Look at the elbow positioning. That is what you want. Also, look at my hand placement. It's around shoulder width, which is good. However, I first recommend you to train the freestanding handstand push-up with a bit wider hand placement, since that's a bit easier. Okay, we're done. Now for the best part, how to train freestanding handstand push-ups. Ah, finally! I've been waiting for so long! Well, not quite. First we need to discuss the prerequisites. Oh, sorry man. So, what do you need? You need a 10-second stable freestanding handstand, 20 reps of push-ups, and 15 reps of dips. If you've got that, then you, sir, are ready! Alright, so let me explain you how this tutorial works. First, I'll show you the exercises in detail. Then, I'll show you the actual method, the approach. The reason for why I do this is because later, when you're at the method, you can basically click on an exercise and it takes you back to the part where I explain the exercise. You can also go to the description of this video where I have listed every exercise and the timestamp that brings you to that exercise. So, finally, exercises. Remember those 5 cues I've given you? Full range of motion, nose in front of hands, straight body, hollow body, elbows tucked in. Those 5. The best way to build up strength for the freestanding handstand push-up is by doing an easier variation of it. This variation needs to suffice to the 5 cues I've given you. So let's discuss 2 exercises that people think are great for freestanding handstand push-ups, but are not in my opinion. There's this one, the back to wall handstand push-up. As you might see, the nose is not in front of the hands, there is no hollow body, and the elbows are not tucked in. So overall, not a really good exercise for the freestanding handstand push-up. Then there's this one, stomach to wall handstand push-up. Now, this isn't a bad exercise, however it's very hard to maintain the 5 cues.
What do you mean?
Well, let me explain. You want to have your nose in front of your hands, right? But you also want to have a hollow body. The problem is that the wall is in the way of your legs. This forces people to lose their posterior pelvic tilt, thus lose their hollow body. It is, however, possible to maintain posterior pelvic tilt, but it requires some really good pelvic tilt coordination. Besides, this exercise in itself is not really an easier variation of a freestanding handstand push-up. So basically, don't do this.
So, what is a good exercise then, Yaad?
I'm glad you asked.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the decline pike push-ups.
This baby has full range of motion, nose in front of the hands, a straight body, well at least for the upper body, and that's what matters, a hollow body, and elbows tucked in. It's perfect. Okay, so first things first, the platform you're standing on needs to be around the height of your knees. If it is much higher, then you risk, just like the stomach to wall handstand push-up, losing posterior pelvic tilt. If it's lower, then you have an inconsistent body position. See this angle? This angle needs to remain almost the same throughout the movement. Also, that angle has to be around 19 degrees. It's fine to have it around 120 degrees in the beginning of your training, but later you should really focus on getting it around 90 degrees. If you're not flexible enough to hold this position, then you better get flexible, you maggot! Stretch those hamstrings! In the meantime, you can bend your knees, as long as you are consistent about that. Alright, so the last cue. Every time you get up, you want to return to your original position. This is the position where your arms are perpendicular to the ground. The reason for why I want you to do this is because it mimics the handstand push-up motion.
And this is what you're not supposed to do.
Notice that my arms don't return to that position where they are perpendicular to the ground. That's a bad newbie. Alright, next. Frogstand.
Haha, it's a joke.
Alright, so you squat down, then you place your elbows around your knees, like I do. Then you lean forward and shift the weight onto your hands. Notice that I slowly bend my arms as I lean forward. Also, notice the pillow, because
safety first.
Okay, so here's another demonstration, but from the side. Look at how I bend my arms as soon as I lean forward. Also, look at how my feet lift from the ground. There is no jumping, it's just leaning. The Frogstand. So, this next move is actually called
the declined pike push-up bottom range of motion lean.
But for the sake of this tutorial, let's just call it the Yaad lean. Basically, it's like the declined pike push-up, except now you hold the bottom position, like this. You hold that position for 10 seconds and then you're done, you get out of it. Every time you practice this, you get closer to the platform like this. You should get as close so that you can hold it for 10 seconds with proper form. After a while, you get so close to the platform that this happens. Look, Mom! No legs! Yep, after a while, no need for a platform.
And that brings us to the tucked Yaad hold.
The tucked Yaad hold is like the end result of the Yaad lean. This time you go into a Frogstand, you lower your head and try to get your nose to the ground, and then you press your knees from the elbows. Please note that my arms do not touch my knees anymore. You can't see that well since I'm wearing all black. Here's another demonstration, but from the front. Make sure that you always look at the ground. Don't look at the sides. Also, look at my elbows. You don't want to tuck them in too much. All the cues I've given before also apply here.
The next move is the full yaad hold.
Now, the full yaad hold is basically like the tuck yaad hold, except now it is full. So you go into a frog stand, you lower your head, and then you press up. However, now you fully extend your legs. It's fine to be slightly piked if not completely straight. Usually this is an indication that you have posterior pelvic tilt. If you are however arched, you better fix that, maggot! This next exercise is called the headstand negatives. You go into a handstand and then you slowly lower down to the full yaad hold and hold that. The slower you lower down, the better.
The Frogstand to handstand.
This is such an exciting moment in your training. You should probably replay this video of me a few times.
Okay, class, get ready to make some notes.
First, you should go into a frog stand. From this position, you try to press up to a handstand. Now, you don't want to lower down your head too much when in a frog stand. If you lower it down too much, there's more range of motion to cover, making this exercise too hard. It's okay to use momentum the first few times, but later, it should be a controlled movement. The full yaad hold to handstand. This is the move. If you can get this down, you're almost there. Again, you go into a frog stand, but this time you first get into the full yaad hold. This means that your nose touches the ground. From here, you press up to a handstand. Oh my god, they grow up so fast. But yeah, you press up to a handstand. That's it. Those were the exercises. Now for the actual method. In this method, there are 6 stages. Each of these stages consists of strength work and skill work. First, I'll explain the difference between strength work and skill work. Strength work is work with its primary goal to build up strength. Pretty obvious, right? Now, skill work are no real workout exercises. They're designed to teach your body to efficiently use your muscles in certain positions or movements. So skill work shouldn't tire you out. It's just position training. Now, let's focus on strength work. In every stage, there's only one strength work element, the decline pike push-ups. We don't want to start out working at 100%, that's not efficient. The most efficient way to progress is by slowly increasing the workload. This means that we only do 2 sets per workout in the first week. In the second week, we do 3 sets per workout. In the third week, we do 4 sets per workout, and we remain doing that for all the upcoming weeks.
So, Yaad, how many reps, bruh?
I hate that question, bruh. Listen up. Just estimate how many reps you want to do in the first 3 weeks, okay? Take in mind that every week there's 1 more set, meaning that the amount of reps can drop, and that's cool, it's fine. Now, the final goal is to be able to do 4 times 10 decline pike push-ups. So how do we get there? Now, let's say your first attempt is 4, 4, 3, 2. So in the first set, you do 4 reps, second set, 4 reps, third set, 3 reps, last set, 2 reps. The next time you work out, you should try to go for 4, 4, 3, 3. Then for 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, and 5, 5, 5, 5. You get it? You kinda, yeah, you get it? Okay, cool, nice. But yeah, what if I fail? Now, of course, you won't be able to progress by 1 every time, and that's just fine. Yeah? Yeah, just keep on trying. You'll get it the next time maybe, huh?
So, how many times a week, bruh?
1 till 3 times a week of strength work should be fine. However, I strongly recommend 3 times a week. Also, quality above quantity. In the beginning, your decline pike push-ups will be sloppy, but as you get stronger, work on improving your form. This means that you might lose some reps, but that's fine, man.
Because quality beats all. Okay, let's do some skill work.
In the first month of your training, you want to do skill work 3 times a week, 2 times a day. You want to spread the 2 holds throughout the day, so you can do one in the morning or afternoon and one in the evening. It's fine to do them on the same day as that you're doing strength work, but you can also do them on other days.
In the second month, you want to do 4 times a week, 2 times a day if you know what's right for you. And in the third month, you want to do it, 5 times a week and 2 times a day.
If I were you, I'd listen to him. He kills people. Anyway, there are some rules when it comes to skill work. You should never do skill work more than 3 days in a row. And you should never take more than 1 day off when it comes to skill work. You got that? Okay, let's move on. Now, I have some gold advice for you guys. You better warm up your wrist, ya maggot! Seriously guys, warm up your wrist before doing strength work and skill work. I know skill work is like 10 seconds, but just do a smaller warm up, okay? Gold Medal Bodies has a great video on warming up your wrists. Just click on the screen or check the description of this video to see it. Okay, so the stages. This is the last part of this giant tutorial. Stage number 1. In this stage, you'll be doing decline pike push-ups, which is strength work. You'll also be doing Frogstand prior to every strength work session. What you basically do is practice it by doing 3-4 holds. Next to that, you have your skill work, the Yaad lanes. The only thing you do is a 10-second hold 2 times a day. If you want to see how these exercises are performed, click on them and it takes you back to the part of this tutorial where I explain it. You can also check out the description of this video where I have written out all the stages with a timestamp to every exercise. So, when are you ready for the next stage? When you can hold the Frogstand comfortably for 30 seconds and do a tuck Yaad hold for 2 seconds, you sir are ready. In stage 2, you also do decline pike push-ups. However, instead of Yaad lanes now, you practice your tuck Yaad holds. You're ready for the next stage when you can do a tuck Yaad hold for 10 seconds and hold a full Yaad hold for 2 seconds. So weird to say my own name so many times. In stage 3, you again do decline pike push-ups, but instead of your tuck Yaad hold, you will be doing full Yaad holds. You're ready for the next stage when you can hold the full Yaad hold for 10 seconds.
And now it's time for stage 4.
Once again, you do your decline pike push-ups. You'll still be working on your full Yaad hold. You can try to hold it longer than 10 seconds if you want to, but it's also fine to just keep on doing 10-second holds. Alongside full Yaad holds, you'll also be doing handstand push-up negatives. When am I ready for the next stage? When you can do handstand push-up negatives and actually hold the bottom position for 5 seconds, 7 out of 10 times you attempt it, then you sir can move on.
In stage 5, it becomes quite busy.
Decline pike push-ups, full Yaad hold, handstand push-up negatives, but now also Frogstand to handstand. You just do a few attempts prior to your strength work, and that's it. The first few times you'll probably desperately fail, but that's okay, that's fine. You're ready for the next stage when you can comfortably press to a handstand from Frogstand without using any momentum and actually hold the handstand 7 out of 10 times you attempt it.
Then, stage 6!
We're almost there. Okay, again, decline pike push-ups, full Yaad hold, handstand push-up negatives, and now, instead of Frogstand to handstand, you try full Yaad hold to handstand. You're ready for the next stage when you can press up to a handstand from the full Yaad hold without using any momentum and you actually hold the handstand 7 out of 10 times.
And now, for stage 7, the magical stage 7. This is the moment you have trained for. Combine the handstand push-up negative with a full Yaad hold to handstand, and you have a freestanding handstand push-up.
The end. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.
If you have any questions left regarding this tutorial, please leave them in the comment below and I'll make sure to get right back at you with an answer. I'd like to thank Joshua Nademan with this tutorial. He helped a lot with actually everything, and he's directly responsible for the strength work and the skill work whole method. So that's all him. Check out his channel. He has a lot of stuff coming up that's really great, and he already has great stuff on it. So check it out. Then there's Nick. I'd like to thank him too. He also helped a lot with this tutorial. The guy is great. Check out his channel. Then I'd like to thank Jokester. His name on Reddit is mmmr. He helped me create the Yaad lane. So great guy. And I also advise you guys to check the subreddit called Bodyweight Fitness. Check it out. It's a great place, a great community, and yeah, just check it out. And that's it. That's the end. Good luck on your journey, and bye.